What's up, y'all? Shout out the new merch, man. It's here, it's here, it's here. Go ahead and go to thatman.store. That's thatman.store. And you can get the hand down, man down merchandise right now. Go ahead and click that, man. We appreciate y'all.
That's cool.
What's up? What's up? It's time for part 2 of our interview with Charles Barkley. I hope y'all excited. Shouts out to Underdog. Don't forget, click the link in the description and then matching the first time deposit up to $1,000. Use the promo code MARK and you'll also get a specialty pick. Like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate y'all. Hope you enjoy. you talked about, I've heard you talk about super teams before and your dislike for them. But when you watch today's game, is there a player that you look and say to yourself, man, I would love to have played with him?
Well, I hate super teams because you're cheating. If they had have told me back in my day they were going to hold it against me, I was like, well, I want to go to play with Michael Jordan or Bird and Magic. Like, yeah. If y'all gonna like say I didn't win anything, yeah, let me know that. Uh, Not after the fact. I was like, wait, we could have teamed up and won. Excuse me. But if you ask the guys, Bird and Magic, their legacy is against each other. Michael, I got my shot against Michael. Patrick got his shot against Michael. Karl Malone got his shot against Michael. Ain't no shame in losing to the greatest player ever. We got our shot, and it was a hell of a game. Yeah, it's so funny. Sometimes people act like we got swept. I was like, damn, Patrick, they had some game sevens. Reggie and the Pacers had some sevens. Carl, they went six. When I played the Bulls in the championship, we went six. I said, so as great as Michael was, all you want is a shot. But if I'd have known they were going to judge it against me, I was like, yo, man, let's get together this summer and team up. But, man, I don't feel no type of way. I'm happy with what I accomplished. Uh, I've exceeded all my expectations. I mean, I've way exceeded my expectations. I'll tell you, man, when you growing up in the project in those damn bunk beds, you just trying to get the hell out of there. You ain't you ain't thinking like, well, I got it. I'm like, no, man. That's like Mark asked me a question earlier. I first went to college, and I was like, you know what? Get a damn job, boy. Get a job. And one of my coaches, Roger Banks, he said, son, you know what you're doing? I says, what do you mean? He says, you're leading the SEC in rebounding as a freshman. I said, dude, anybody can get 10 rebounds a night. He pulls out an NBA page stat sheet. He says, yeah, there's 7 guys in the NBA averaging double figures. I said, what? He said, son, if you get me 10, 11 rebounds a night, you're going to play in the NBA forever. Because at this point, I can't score. The most points I averaged in college was like 13 in 3 years. I think that my last year. But I led the league in rebounding every year, Blue. But he said, son, I want you to become a rebounding machine. Get me 10, 11 rebounds a night, and you're going to be set for life. And I'm like, oh, I can do that. But I really wasn't thinking about the NBA until after my freshman year. He says, dude, I don't think you know what you're doing. You're For a freshman to be leading the SEC in rebounding, it's because we had Melvin Turpin, Sam Bowie at Kentucky, Kenny Skywalker. We had Dominique at Georgia. We had Vernon Delancey and Ronnie Williams down at Florida. The SEC was pretty loaded. We had Bobby Lee Hurt in Alabama and Ennis Watley. So it wasn't like I was in a rinky-dink conference. I earned that leading that league in rebounding.
Let me ask you a question. Tell Bluu when you were traded to the Phoenix Suns, the discussion you had with the players about being the best player in the world.
Yeah, so we played the Bulls We played the Bulls and we beat them like 8 times in a row. Then Scotty and those guys got better. And, Bird had McHale and Parrish and Dennis Johnson. Magic had Kareem Worthy, Byron Scott, and all those guys. But I said, man, I think I'm the best player in the world. I said, all these other guys got some help. And the Sixers was screwing up my career because we had the number one pick in the draft and traded it like dummies, like dumb. And I was like, guys, so I get traded to Phoenix. So the owner calls me, he says, I said, well, this is what's going to happen. I'm the best player in the world. We're going to the finals. We're going to play the Chicago Bulls, and I'm going to prove I'm the best player in the world. So we get off to a mediocre start, and I know Michael. Michael know that I'm coming for him, that we're going to play them in the finals. And Michael loves to send messages. So we play the Bulls. He just stomp us. I go crazy after the game. I said, guys, that guy sent me a message tonight. He wanted me to know he better than me and they're better than us. I said, I told you guys I'm the best player in the world. We're going to the finals, but y'all got to rise up with me. And I was going ballistic after the game. Then we go on like a 14-game winning streak. And we finally got together as guys. We're going to rise up. He's not coming down. I said, that's one guy. Because I'll tell you another story, Blue. So I go to the Olympic trials in '84. They invited like the top 120 players in the country. Probably 50, 60 Hall of Famers on that list. And the rest are household names. And we start cutting down on players. And I make it to the final cut. Me, John Stockton, Karl Malone, and Terry Porter are the four guys riding home together. My coach calls me like 3 days later. He says, Charles, John Thompson want to tell you something. Come to the office. He calls. He says, Sonny, I just want to tell you, Charles was the second best player at the Olympic trials. He should have made the team. Bobby Knight did not like him. He never gave us a reason. He just didn't like Charles. He said, but I just wanted Charles to know, Charles, you were amazing. You were the second best player there, and you should have made the team, but Bobby wasn't going to let you. So he hangs up the phone. He says, I'm surprised. I said, why are you surprised? He says, I thought you were the best player in the country. I said, well, I'm not. I said, well, I'm not. I said, coach, there's this dude. He's jet black. He's a little taller than me. He can outrun everybody. He can outjump everybody. And he's talking the whole time. He said, what's his name? I said, Michael Jordan. I said, coach, I ain't never seen anything like it. Because Michael's a little taller than me. I can say, he's mentally tough, man. And he could outrun everybody and outjump everybody. I said, damn, coach. I said, coach, I ain't never seen anything like it. And this is before he became Michael Jordan. This is in college. I said, coach, he gonna be amazing. I mean, I didn't think he was gonna become the GOAT, but I knew. I said, coach, I'm not the best. There's this crazy dude from North Carolina who, hey, hey, he's kicking your and telling you he's kicking. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, it was like, and like I say, it's probably 50, 60 guys on that 120 that's in the Hall of Fame, and the rest of them are like household names. They were all, I guarantee you, probably 100 of the guys were first round draft picks.
Bluu doesn't believe that Jordan is the GOAT.
So it's interesting you say that because we had a moment on TV the other night, Blue. LeBron is getting ready to pass Michael in the most 30-point games. And Ernest says, LeBron passes somebody, he's only 40 games behind Michael Jordan for the most 30-point games. And I says, can you repeat that? I says, wait, he already passed Kareem. And I says, he's what? He's 35 games behind Michael for the most 30-point game. And he's played like 7 or 8 years longer. I says, I ain't never gonna shade LeBron. I love LeBron. He's a good dude. He's a great, great player. But to not have passed Michael in 30-point games, and he's played, I think he's on year 20, right? And and I think I says I said that's an incredible stat that he's still behind Michael and he's played 7 years longer. It's Bluu. You got to admit that's an interesting factoid.
That is very interesting. But I'm gonna have to take a moment. I guess I got to be the OG because y'all must not have ever heard about the story between the tortoise and the hare because that's just what this is. Sometimes it takes a little longer to get to the destination, but we passed them up. It take a little bit longer on our route. Don't be mad because we made it here. We here now.
Well, the rules have changed. Would you at least admit that?
That's true.
So it's easier to play today. You have to factor that in. Like, again, example. We know Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, and Pat Mahomes is going to pass maybe probably everybody. But the three guys I just mentioned, in the next 3 or 4 years, they're going to be like, they won't even be in the top 10 when it comes to stats. They like, some of these other bums not even in a conversation with them, but they're going to pass them because the game is different. They're going to throw it 100 times a game now. And like I say, I never say they're better or worse time, but Tom, Peyton, and Joe Montana are considered the three best, and Pat's gaining quickly. Their numbers are going to be irrelevant in the next couple of years. So I ain't never going to say, I will say this about LeBron. I think his career has been the greatest sports story in sports history. What I mean by that, Bluu, is people forget Kobe Bryant struggled in the beginning. Kevin Garnett struggles. McGrady struggles. All the young guys struggle. The only guy who didn't struggle was LeBron. He came in and played well right away. And secondly, in today's society where everybody's out to get you with cell phones and text messages and things like that, I don't think he's ever really made a mistake. And to come in at 18 and be ready to play and live up to the hype and pass the hype, I think it's the greatest sports story ever. To come in at 18 and because like I say, and your dad knows this, man, some of the stuff, well, I'm not like your dad. Some of the stuff I did, I'm damn glad there wasn't no cell phones around. Hey, hey, I'm glad there was no internet. You know, all the guys in my generation, stuff that we did that was fun. It was fun and sometimes good, sometimes bad. We can't do that stuff today. Everything these guys do is that there's somebody out to get them. And for LeBron to go his entire career, be that great of a player and never get in trouble, I've said it before. I'm not just saying it on the Mark Jackson show. What a clever name. Damn.
I was going
I
to name it the
said
steam room, but it was
that
taken.
the same room is a really good thing. That's right. You like that, don't you? But man, his story is amazing. I truly believe that.
And I mean, no disrespect to Michael Jordan. He's one of my favorite players. His story, even just his mentality, everything that it took for him to reach the level that he took.
Don't make me break out the endorsements and shoes and things either. That just be throwing gasoline on the fire, Blue. You know,
No, don't talk about this.
and that's another thing. That's another thing you guys, Michael deserves credit for. Nobody had shoes that made money until Michael. No guys were doing commercials until Michael. See, the generation now think like, well, everybody got a signature shoe. No, Converse had Michael and Larry, but they were just regular Converse. They didn't have like Air Jordan. Man, this dude has made us and these players so much money. Like LeBron probably makes $100 million from Nike a year. That's because of Michael. Kobe made $100 million. All these guys got different shoes from different companies. So Michael deserves some credit in that aspect too. But also, dudes wasn't doing commercials back then. You have to add all this stuff in, to be honest with you. But like I say, I'm never gonna say anything bad about LeBron. And also, I I I think it's disrespectful to Kareem because Kareem probably has the best resume. Kareem probably has the best resume out of any. Uh, Wait, and I don't want to be disrespectful to Bill Russell. If you want to talk about strictly accolades and accomplishment, Bill Russell and Kareem are probably 1, 2. Yeah.
You talked about things you did in your past. You almost got both of us thrown out the league when you was a six and I was a Nick, claiming that
I
we bet
heard
on
you
the
tell
game.
that story somewhere recently too.
Yeah, on the Mark Jackson show. This guy
Hey,
almost got us thrown out.
hey, you want to bet?
The commissioner said, I'm going to take 5 minutes to go outside of this meeting of me and Charles, and I'm going to make a decision on whether I'm going to throw you guys out of the league or not. I'll be right back. I'm a young rookie. I'm sitting there like nervous, panicking, thinking my career's over. Charles looks at me and says, I bet you don't throw us out the league. I'm like, this guy is crazy.
Hey, man, when I heard you tell that story, I was on the ground laughing because man, David Stern, rest in peace. What see, Mark, man, you think about this. People think that the NBA was too black, too many thugs. The finals were on tape delay. There was only one game a week on Sunday. People don't even realize how crappy the NBA was. The average salary was $250,000. That's when David Stern took over. And there was the tape delayed finals, Blue. There was only one game a week, once on every Sunday on CBS. The average salary was $250,000. The average salary now is over $10 million. I tell you how old I am, Blue. The first time an NBA player made $1 million, we were going around the locker room high-fiving each other. I think that was in 1980. I think it was in 1988. And I'm going to tell you something. I got Maurice Cheeks, Dr. J, Moses Malone, Bobby Jones. They announced that Magic Johnson had signed 25 years, $25 million. We were going around high-fiving each other. An NBA player had never made $1 million. And now we got guys making $60 million. And it's gonna double starting next year when man, bless these guys. But I think it's important that these young guys appreciate how lucky they are. I mean, because they are lucky and born at the right time, and bless them. But man, just appreciate how lucky you are. It's kind of like, the biggest in my 40 years in NBA, when I talk to players and when I play, like trying to figure our kids out. We all want our kids to be successful. We want to be great parents, but you have to always figure out what to give them. Do you give them too much? Do you give them not enough? You have to make them earn it. And that, speaking to all the guys, even they like, yo, man, I don't know what to do. I make all this money and my kid want this. I says, man, you got to put guardrails on your kids. You just can't give them everything. They got to earn it. You know, if you earn it by doing the right thing, working hard. And I've seen it work both ways. But man, your kids, you want all you want to see is your kids be happy and work their behind off. You know, I told you earlier about my daughter, man. I'm so proud of the woman she is. She's a hard worker and she's a great mom. And you know what? That's pretty damn cool. Now, it's not the same as she's the best female basketball player in the world, because that was for me. That was for me. But as a dad, I always say she's a great. I love when people say, "Man, your daughter's a nice person. She's a great kid." I said that means a lot to me, because the one thing I told her, I said, "Hey, this is, I, I'm lucky. I hit the lottery, and you're gonna get to share in the lottery. But I need you to appreciate the lottery and how lucky we are, because everybody don't hit the lottery."
One thing I heard you say, being a 6'5" power forward, was you could, and I totally disagree with this, by the way, playing against you for all those years. You said you couldn't out talent people. You had to be smart. You were smart, but you out talent. When I played against you, you was the baddest dude on the floor. You and Patrick Ewing was a different level. You clearly out talented people with your GOAT status at the power forward position. I don't want to minimize the impact that you had in changing the game.
Well, I appreciate that, brother. You know, the point I had to make was I'm the only guy in the history of basketball who never played against a guy who was shorter than him. So I had to have a game plan going into the game. Like when you playing against different guys, like some guys well, a lot of guys you're more talented than. But when you play against another great player, you got to have a game plan. You got to use your brain. That's why you see a lot of guys. And Mark, you know this. You've seen 100 guys. I've seen 100 guys. You're like, man, when that guy learns how to play, we ain't gonna have a chance. And they never learn how to play. You know, I was in the NBA for 16 years. I can name 100 guys. I'd be like, that damn guy got some talent. But he had zero work ethic or he had no brains, because you got to know how to play basketball to be successful in the NBA. Because you're not going to be more talented than LeBron. You're not going to be more talented than KD. You're not going to be more talented than Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum, or LeBron or AD. So you're going to have to use your brain. Um, and that's the one thing I tell people. You got to get better as a player. Like, you can get through high school and college just on talent. You can't get through the NBA on just talent.
Who's the best player in the NBA currently?
Blue, that's a great question.
You want to hear my answer?
Yes.
Joker.
Oh, Joker. I mean, you know what? That's my fault. Joker's the best player in the world right now.
Okay.
Your dad is 100% correct. You know, he's the most skilled big man ever. He's not the best, but we've never had a 7-foot guy who plays center who can shoot threes. He can post up. He's the best passing big man ever. I mean, Bill Walton is in the conversation, but as far as skill, I mean, as much as I love Shaquille and Akeem Olajuwon and guys like that, they couldn't shoot threes. But he can post up. But man, his passing is ridiculous. He's the best player in the world. And I agree with your dad on that one.
Let me ask you a question closer to home. The concern about the start for the Philadelphia 76ers and the
It ain't no
lackadaisical approach.
concern. The ship and the word and hey, in the words of the great Michael Ray Richardson, the ship be sinking. The ship be sinking.
You see, my problem is Tyrese Maxey, they say, spoke up and it leaked in the meeting and all of that. They accepted too much of this behavior along the way. There's
Yes.
accountability across the board for the way that their culture has been established. Your thoughts? And Philadelphia is a dangerous place because that fan base will turn on you in a minute.
In a minute, 100% right. Well, a couple things. Number one, I've never heard a great player say before the season, I'm not going to play back to back. First red flag. Wait a minute. You're not going to play back to back. You don't say that. If you're going to do it, you don't say it. First red flag. Secondly, Joel can't be late to everything. Excuse me, guys. My allergies are haywire. You can't be late. Nobody's on time. Every now and then you're going to be a minute too late. You can't be late all the time. That can never happen. That being said, what happened at private meeting cannot get out. What happened at private meeting cannot get out. But you still have to start with that, Joel. You can't be late all the time. But what happened at private meeting cannot get out. Plain and simple. And I think my Sixers are done. I really hate it. Because they're not good enough to make up all the ground they got to make up. But I'm really disappointed. Like I say, you can't because when you're late all the time, you're telling people I don't respect you or your time. I said this last week. I wish you'd have had Billy Cunningham. Billy Cunningham will leave his mama. He don't care. Billy Cunningham, Mark, I'm not even joking. And let me tell you something. Billy Cunningham will leave his mama. And let me tell you something else about it. Billy Cunningham can see you walking to the bus and he gonna take off. We're leaving at 5. If you're walking to the bus at 5, your ass gonna get left. So I wish a lot of these coaches, and listen, I had this conversation with AI when he did the practice thing. AI is one of my favorite players. I got a lot of love and respect for him. But they started complaining that he wasn't coming to practice when they started losing. I said, dude, that's the way this thing works. You can get away with murder when you're winning. When you start losing, they're going to turn on you. You said it earlier, Mark, Philadelphia. I'm pretty sure Jordan's been late all the time for years. But he won MVP and they were somewhat successful. Now they're losing. Dude, that's the way this thing works. I'm always amazed when a jock complains how they treat him different when they're losing and winning. Listen, fool, you don't know how this works? Wait, you ain't smart enough to know this is how this thing works? I am. I'm always shocked when I say, you guys are treating me different because we're losing. Like, yeah, fool, that's the way this thing works. The stuff that you do when you're winning, oh, he's late all the time. Well, he just won MVP and we got one of the best records in the NBA. Now we're losing. Yo, dude, why are you late all the time? I says, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're in a business agreement. And as long as things are going well, we like each other. But when they ain't going well, it's going to be some issues. And the players got to be smart enough to understand that.
Man, that's not good news coming for the Philadelphia fan base from the great Charles Barkley. Can I get just a percentage chance of them turning this around?
I don't think they can turn it around. I don't. Paul George is out again. And let me tell you something, Blue. One thing I know about old people, they just get older. They don't get better. Hey, hey, I love when old people say, when I'm watching guys on TV, they're talking about certain guys, talking about, when he's getting healthy. Hey, man, old people don't get healthy. Oh, do not. Old people don't get healthy. Sports, sports are hard on your body. There's a sacrifice you make on your body if you're going to play any pro sport. Football is probably the worst. We probably close second. If you want to throw boxing in there, boxing's in there too. But there's a sacrifice you make to your body, and you don't get healthier as you get older. You just get more wear and tear, and you lose your talent. But you don't get healthier as you get older. That's not going to happen.
So what's I feel like it's a catch-22. What's the solution if there's no load management for guys like Paul George or Embiid who deal with chronic injuries?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's a great answer either way. I think you need to play basketball to get your body ready to play basketball. Sitting out is not going to help you get better at basketball. Number one, it's hard for your teammates to figure out because you think about the Sixers. When Joel's on the court, they got two different teams. With Paul George and Maxey out there leading the team, with those other guys, and when you put Joel out there, and Mark knows this, those are two different teams. Those are not the same teams. And to try to think that they can go back and forth and have some form of chemistry, that's their biggest problem. There's no way you can be like, well, Joe's not playing tonight. Well, how do we play tonight? We're going through Paul and we're going through Max. And then 2 days later, well, Joel's back. Well, what do Max and Paul got to do? Stand back and let Joel do his thing. There's no way. There's no way that's going to be successful. And, they,
Makes sense.
and the thing with back to back, they got the best backup center in the league. Just say, hey, okay, I'm only going to play 25 minutes in the second game. That would have been the right way. But to start the season, I was saying I'm not going to play back to back. That was stupid.
A lot of times, though, we blame the players. This started with front office and management dictating load management and telling guys when. And if you took a day off of practice, we look at you like you crazy. Now that management and coaching staff has put together, and the physical therapy people have put together plans of when to take days off. So they initiated this action.
Yeah, and they're wrong. You take days off when you're hurt and things like that. You don't take days off just to take days off. That's my biggest problem. Hey, hey man, my ankle's a little tweaked. Okay, don't play tonight. My back is sore. Okay, don't play tonight. Just to say, this think about it. This dude said before the season, I'm not playing back-to-back games. Like, are you are you serious right now? Before the season, like, okay, man, we all get tired. Hey, you gotta bet your knee is sore, don't play. Your back is sore, don't play. Yeah, I'm not gonna play any back-to-back the whole season. That to me is the problem, and it really screwed up the Sixers.
What do you say if you're on the Philadelphia 76ers and you guys are coming in to play us in Madison Square Garden, and management or coaching staff or the powers that be come up to you and say, load manager, you're going to take the day off this game against the Knicks?
Mark, you know I'm not missing a Knick game. Come on, man. No, Blue. In basketball history, the Celtics, you got to play at the Boston Garden. You got to play at Madison Square Garden. You got to play at the Spectrum. You got to play at the Forum. The Warriors, all their successes came in the last X amount of years, but you gonna play at the Forum, the Gardens, and the Spectrum. Those are four iconic places that you gotta play because it's different. Let me tell you something. When the Knicks are good in the playoffs, it's a totally different vibe. Like when the Knicks are successful like they've been the last couple of years, when we're showing their game, man, it's such an electric thing. I mean, it is electric. I mean, it is so much fun. I mean, I'm telling you, man. It's so no, you Mark, you know you got to play at the Garden.
Been awfully generous with your time. A couple more questions. TNT, what makes you guys so special individually and collectively?
So, Mark, it's two things. Okay, so most people don't understand. We're on from 7 to 2 in the morning. We have come with a great balance of basketball and fun. Now, we hope the two games are fun, but sometimes you just get crappy games. And that 7 to 2 seems like 12 hours. That's when it's really bad. But in a perfect scenario, we get two great games. But they give us carte blanche and we give the people behind the scenes, okay, we got a game. Let's make people laugh and have a good time. So that's really the key. We got to make you have to reach a balance of fun basketball. Because what you're really looking for, like there's a certain faction of people gonna watch basketball. Those are called men, obviously. One guy's got to be like, I gotta. We want to watch, make his girlfriend watch, his wife watch, his daughter or a kid. So that's all we're trying to do, honestly, Mark. Like if a guy's at home and he got a girlfriend, hey, babe, come and watch these fools on television, have fun. And then I can watch the game. Same thing with his wife. But if he got a son or a daughter, what can we do to make the daughter or the son have fun watching basketball? So that's really the key. Like, because Mark, we can go on there the whole time and do X's and O's, talk about picks and rolls, uh, different stunts, how you play the pick and roll, 1-3-1. Like this guy's not doing a job boxing out. We don't want to do that. We want people to have fun watching the game, and I think that's one of the reasons we've been very successful.
One question I want to ask, because obviously with Mike and Jeff calling games, every so often we get you can't say certain things. Have you ever gotten a phone call like that, or you just freestyling and you've nipped it in the bud from the jump?
Mark, they know better. Um, they know better. Yo, man, I'm not. It drives me crazy. Like, yo, man, can we just do our job? And one thing I hate about today's players, Mark, I can say 9 great things about a dude. He ain't never called me or text me to say thank you. You say one bad thing, your phone blowing up. Same thing with some coaches. I said, yo, man, I brag on your coaching all the time. I said, I don't like that strategy against that. Why are you calling me now? You didn't call me those other 9 times when I said good stuff. That's the only thing that drives me crazy. I said, dude, I don't get no joy out of saying anything bad about you. But when you do something bad or do a bad job, I'm going to call you out. Just like I'm going to give you a compliment when you do good. But don't call me when I criticize you one time and you know you messed up.
What stands out about when you're working with the Inside the NBA crew? What makes it uh, so unique?
Well, so Ernie is a great circus manager, uh, maestro, as I call it. I look at the game. Shaq, Kenny look at the game from a guard perspective. Shaq look at it from a big man perspective. I just try to say, I'm a big believer in will. I'm a big like I wanted to be so successful, Blue. I mean, I was saying to myself sometime, man, I definitely don't want to go back to Alabama. You got to pick it up, little fella. But it's really a good mixture because Kenny. Well, the older he get, the better he was. Um, this dude, Mark. This dude probably the worst player come out of New York. By the end of the night, you think he's the best one. You know, it drives us crazy. Because he want to put himself with the New York City greats. That's Kenny. You're not even in the conversation. You're
No,
not
you
even in the
can't,
conversation.
I
Yo, I
can't let
can't
you
let you
kill
do
my
this
guy
to.
Jet like
Hey,
that,
come
my
on,
I can't
man.
let
man.
you do this.
Mark,
What's going on?
Mark. He's not in the conversation.
No, he's in the convo. You got to put him in the convo.
No,
He's a
He's,
legend.
he's one of
He's
the
a
greats.
legend.
He's one of the greats out of New York City.
What?
no, no. No. And then Shaq, if you don't, he cannot give another big man a compliment. It's fun to work with him. It's fun to work with. Like we get mad at Ken all the time because man, he want to be mentioned with the New York greats all the time. It drives us crazy. No, man, you're not on the list, Kenny. Kenny, congratulations. You won a couple rings with the Rockets, but you were not. You weren't. Come on, stop it. So this is the kind of stuff be going on behind the scenes. Shaq cannot give another big man a compliment. It's hilarious. He cannot give another big man a compliment. It drives us crazy because he's like, I'll kill him. I'm like, it ain't about you, dude.
Especially if that big man name is Dwight Howard.
Oh my God, he hates him, and he hates Rudy Gobert. Like, you guys talking about the Joker. I killed the Joker. I said, Shaq, we're not in competition anymore. We're retired. We're talking about who's the best player in the game today. Yeah, I mean, but dude, it's hilarious. It's like that every week. Like the other night, I made the mistake of giving Victor Wembanyama a compliment. Oh, you ain't never seen a big guy can dribble like that? I'm like, no, I haven't. Oh, you ain't seen me go up? Dude, you were going in a straight line. You didn't have any moves. You were just big, and the people were scared to get in your way. Victor be taking that thing behind his back, pulling up for threes. I said, dude, this dude gonna be special. No, I'll kill him. Too little in the post. I'm like, dude, please stop. That's my world, Blue. That's what I have to deal with.
That you're not innocent in this either though, because I heard you when you said Wemby, I thought you were talking about when you said Wemby's the only one in San Antonio that can't gain weight.
No, man, I like messing with them. I love messing with San Antonio. Blue, it's so interesting, man. I just try to I really want people to laugh when they turn on the show. And when I said that last week and people went crazy, I said, man, that's what I want to do, man. I want you to watch basketball and have a good time. I mean, everybody know they got some big old women down there in San Antonio. Wemby's the only person that can't gain no weight.
Let me ask you, in all seriousness, has there ever been anything that you've said where you feel like, man, looking back, maybe I took it too far or I should apologize for that?
Well, I think the biggest one, and no, I shouldn't apologize for it. You know, I think that me and Michael ended our relationship when I said that he was never going to be successful as a general manager because he had too many kiss asses around him. I think that's probably the thing that hurts me the most because this guy was arguably my best friend, and when I said that, he called me and cursed me out, and we haven't spoken since that night. But what I said was true. That's probably the only thing. I don't regret saying it. I regret losing one of my best friends.
And two great guys. I mean, obviously he's headstrong, but as fans and people
That's
that
an
know the relation,
understatement.
we want to see that united. I know it's past that time, what have you, but you guys are two class act, two quality acts, two all time great, and had an incredible bond that we celebrated as former players.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. But he's headstrong. And so it's and listen, I love the guy. I wish him nothing but the best. And it's just unfortunate.
Two more questions for me. One, do I remember correctly? I remember coming to the game uh, when they was celebrating Dr. J in Madison Square Garden, his tribute. Was you laying on the bench?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I might have got bored. Hey, Mark, let me tell you something. After you went through about 20 of those things, you had enough. You had enough.
This dude was
I
laying
mean,
on the bench.
dude, I was like, yo, hey, Bluu, I love Dr. J. He's an amazing dude. But after you go through about 20 of those retirement ceremonies, you're like, damn, can we get the game started? And they're like all trying to come up with a different type of gift. And I was like, Mark, I could have been tired or just bored over on the sideline. That could be 100% true.
Oh, it could have been a night in New York City prior to the game, right?
No, actually, what was really interesting, I never got a chance to go crazy in New York because we bust up the day of the game. We didn't the only time I had fun in New York was off season or we went up at a party one night we had a couple of days off because New York and New Jersey, we would bus up, which was stupid too. We would bus up and go to a hotel for like 4 hours. Like,
Wow.
what the hell is that? I'm like, we would leave Philly about 10 o'clock in the morning, get to New York around noon, go to the hotel for about 4 hours, then go to the game. I was like, why didn't we just come in the night before? It's just so stupid.
No wonder we swept y'all.
Okay. See, it's all fun and games. Somebody get an eye poked out.
Okay, here's my last question. Who gets credit for putting together that outstanding, phenomenal burgundy draft suit of yours?
Hey, man, that's all we could afford back then.
No, it was nice. I'm asking a serious question. It was nice.
See, first of all, it was a nice question. That's all I could afford back then, man. Don't make fun of poor people. Hey, burgundy was my favorite color. So for some reason, I love burgundy. I had a burgundy tux that I wore to my prom, and I had that burgundy suit. That was it. I rented a burgundy tux for the prom, and I had one burgundy suit for the draft. That was it, brother. And I looked fly too.
You had that suit or you went and got it?
I went and got it.
Did you take it back?
See, Bluu. See what I got to deal with?
He got burgundy on right now too. He's trying to bite your
It
style.
looks much better in the suit, just for the record.
we disagree on that. Look, I love you, bro, and I appreciate you, man. Congrats with all the success. Continue to be an inspiration for so many. Salute to you and yours, man. Love you, man, and appreciate it.
Hey, man,
Charles.
I got a lot of love for you and your family, man. You're a good brother. Bluu, I look forward to spending some time with you down the line. Your dad's always been a good man. You take care of yourself. Hey, I can't wait for you to spend. You said Noah, right?
Noah, yeah.
Oh, man. Wait till Noah starts talking and following you around. You're going to love it, Jack.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Love you, bro.
All right. I love you, bro.
Man, what an episode with the legend Charles Barkley. Don't forget, shouts out to Underdog. Click the link in the description. They're matching a first-time deposit of up to $1,000, and you'll also get a specialty pick. Use the promo code MARK. That's MARK. Once again, use that promo code. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. We appreciate it.
Remember, just the other day I was watching the Colorado Buffaloes and Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. finished their season, their regular season, at home. Coach Prime said it was an emotional day for him as he celebrated his kids and his adopted kids, meaning his team, as seniors closed out their career with him. It made me think, because a couple of days later, my college coach, a month away from celebrating his 100th birthday, took his last breath. I'm so fortunate and so grateful for him, his impact, his example. He didn't just live a life, he left a legacy. And even though he took his last breath, at the end of a game, what a coach does when somebody puts on an outstanding performance is stop the play by calling a timeout and having them being recognized. So you taking your last timeout, Coach, we salute you. Thank God for you. Forever grateful. Blessings.